Most companies don't know the real reason their operations feel chaotic. It's not because the team isn't working hard. It's not the tools. It's not even the economy. It's because they're fighting the wrong problems. Another way to say it is this: they're getting caught up in the urgent and missing what's actually important. And that's not because leaders aren't smart. They are. They know their business exceptionally well. But sometimes expertise itself becomes the problem. I'm Paul Zania, founder of Solve Strategies, and welcome to the first episode of You Only Get Paid When You Ship. For more than 40 years, I've worked in manufacturing, logistics, and operations, helping companies fix problems that quietly erode profit, morale, and customer trust. I didn't start as a consultant. I started on the shop floor and worked my way up. And over those 40 years, I learned one lesson that keeps repeating. Real improvement doesn't come from fixing everything. It comes from fixing the right things. When I walk into a warehouse, a distribution center, a 3PL, or a manufacturing plant, everyone is busy. People are firefighting, leaders are reacting, meetings are full, dashboards are everywhere. There's always another exception, another carrier charge, another customer escalation, another process improvement that didn't really improve anything. It feels like progress. It isn't. It's motion without leverage. I grew up working on a cattle ranch in the province of San Luis, Argentina. There's a lesson you learn early. If you spend all day chasing calves because a gate is broken, you'll be just as busy tomorrow. Fix the gate, the chaos stops. Most operations don't fix the gate. They just get better at chasing calves. They add people, they add reports, they add meetings, but they never remove the root cause. When I talk about finding root causes, I want to be very clear. This isn't guesswork. I look at raw operational data, customers, shipments, time, people, systems, and I look for patterns. When the same problems show up across different customers, different shipments, different weeks, different teams, that's not noise. That's a broken rule. And broken rules are where real improvement lives. Most people have heard of the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle. 80% of results come from 20% of causes. That idea is directionally accurate, but most companies stop there. What I've learned is that you have to go one step further. Inside that smaller group of causes, there are usually just a few that repeat over and over again. That's where leverage lives. Not in fixing everything, but in fixing what repeats. A client once came to me and said, "Paul, our accessorial charges are out of control. We've tried everything." So we ran the data. Out of thousands of shipments, a very small percentage was driving over 60% of the accessorial charges. And when we looked closer, it came down to just two issues. One, incorrect package dimensions for a specific freight stream. Two, residential deliveries being mislabeled as commercial. Two problems, not 30, not 100. Fixing just those two reduced total accessorial spend by 31% in 1 month. Not 31% of the problem shipments, 31% of all accessorial spend. That's what leverage looks like. Another company believed they had a broad quality problem. Customer complaints were rising, escalations were common, morale was slipping. It felt like everything was broken. But the data told a different story. Again, a small percentage of the shipments, around 4%, drove nearly 2/3 of all escalations. The root causes were clear. One overloaded process missing critical steps. One, major customers labeling rules not being met, and a claims process that made customers angrier instead of helping them. 3 fixes. Customer complaints dropped by nearly 60%. Not by fixing everything, but by fixing what mattered. Here's the danger of not knowing where your gate is broken. You assign the wrong people to the wrong problems. You throw labor at symptoms. You buy tools that you don't need. You frustrate your best employees, and worst of all, you lose profit quietly. No alarms, no headlines, just erosion. When leaders finally focus on the right causes, something changes. Exceptions drop, firefighting slows, teams regain confidence, operations become predictable again, and leaders get something back they didn't realize they'd lost. Time to think. That's not working harder. That is working with leverage. So let me leave you with this. If your operation feels overwhelmed, if your people are working hard but not getting ahead, you're probably not fighting the wrong people. You're fighting the wrong problems. Because you only get paid when you ship. I'm Paul Zania, and next time we'll talk about how to actually find those repeating causes without massive systems or months of analysis. I'll see you then.